Hello, friends. Welcome to Lift India Filmotsav and Awards World Cinefest 2022. Today, we are in conversation with Mr. Chandan Arora. He is a very renowned editor from India, has edited more than 50 films, and has earned a lot of film awards. And we are delighted and happy that he has joined in conversation with us today. So, let's straight go to him. Hello, Chandan.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking our invitation and coming to join us for the conversation.
No, it's my pleasure.
Uh, basically, how we connected with you is through Ms. Shafaq Khan, her film Yere Yere Pausa, which was submitted to the festival, Lift India Filmotsav and Awards World Cinefest. Uh, it has been shortlisted as an official selection and has been nominated for the awards. Uh, our whole the system is that we nominate the film in multiple awards. It's up to the jury to decide which category they want to award the film for. We don't nominate a film in a particular category as such, but so the jury is open and consider the film in any of the categories. So we are in conversation with you regarding Yere Yere Pausa, a Marathi film. And we will also talk about other aspects of films and you and your journey as an editor, as a filmmaker, also in particular. Um, to begin with, Yere Yere Pausa, I would like to know how did you join this film? Because you happen to be a very well established a film editor, a filmmaker, and Yere Yere Pausa happens to be a first timer, a small budget film. So, how did this combo work out?
So I was introduced to Shafaq by a common friend. Uh, this was actually they wanted to make like a screener for the trade for trying to sell the film in the market and everything. And the film was in a rough edit stage. And I heard the story and the concept and everything, and I sort of really liked what Shafaq was trying to do with the theme and with the kids and with children first time actors, with the kind of performances she had pulled off, and with other veteran actors from the Marathi film. They had also done such great work and hard work and thing. When I saw the footage, so I felt that it could sort of be put together better. It could be edited better. So I was excited to be a part of it, to be a part of her journey. And yeah, so it's good that it's being appreciated by your festival, and because the whole team has really worked very hard on it, and it's feels good that
So,
it's appreciated.
how is it that you came about seeing this film and then you shortlisted and said no, you want to re-edit the film? Do you generally do this, or this was just one-off?
So not re-edited. Actually, it was just put together. It was just like a lineup. So, but uh, I get I'm very excited to work with first time filmmakers or second time filmmakers, people who are working on independent projects. So with every big after every big commercial or two commercial films, I try and get onto a project which is where the problems are very different, where the resources are very less, and we are trying to tell a story with sometimes to tell the story with lesser shots is more exciting for the editor rather than having many shots. So yeah.
So, what interested in you in Yere Yere Pausa?
So it basically the purity of the content of the intention to make the film, the performances, and what the entire team was trying to do. I mean, when you make a film like when someone makes a film like Yere Yere Pausa, it's not like it's not that they are trying to they're not fully doing it for the fame, and of course it's show business and everything, but it's not for the hype and hoopla. It's actually to try and tell a story, to try and bring a problem in front of people, to try and also entertain and also engage them and make them think about the problem, which I think the film manages to do pretty well. I mean, you sort of identify with the little simple problems that people are having, but and what it tosses up is that so many things that we privileged people, we take so many things for granted, but where even the normal basic stuff people have to fight for in their daily lives in remote parts of the country. So bringing that out and sort of saying it not in a morose and it's said in a light-hearted and an entertaining way where you sort of enjoy the film and you also are introduced to a problem and something like that. So which I thought was very good that Shafak pulled off. Yeah.
So, what were the areas that you felt you contributed to and you added that X factor when you took up the film?
So I mean, what an editor does really. I mean, so when I came on board, they didn't have an editor. So it was trying to understand the feeling that Shapak wanted to create, and then to use her material to sort of say it as beautifully as possible. And because editing sort of comes at the last stage where nothing is now left to imagination. So we have all the material, everything is in, and now it's got to work, and there's not much left to imagination if something is not working. So in that sense, it had to be put together correctly, and yeah. So
Did you suggest any reshoots because while editing and you felt that there were some shots lacking and you wish you had that kind of a shot? So
so
did
since
you
this
send her back to the shoot?
No, not at all. In fact, that was not even possible because the film was shot entirely on location in a remote village in Maharashtra, and it was shot on a tight budget. So there were just there was some patchwork shots, which in any case she had planned to do. I think so. There were no reshoots like that. No, nothing. I would just say that I was brought into the team, and I just did what an editor does, rather than trying to impose anything else, or because that's not an editor's job.
Let me take this opportunity in elaborating for our viewers and especially the young viewers or the budding editors or the new editors. When you say that you did the job what an editor does, so if you could let elaborate on that.
So I mean, like a film is made out of scenes, which is made out of shots, and which have to be put together in the most seamless and the most engaging fashion. That's basically what editing is. Uh, so that is what was done on the film. I mean, I can't get into specifics like that, but uh, uh, yeah, I think I had a great time working with the children's performances, and it was so refreshing to see them working with stalwarts, with veterans, and sort of matching up, or working as well, or sometimes even better, if I may say so. So that is what was exciting for me to sort of yeah. And I think what I brought onto the table, if I may say so, was that like uh, every filmmaker, when they're working, they look at the editor to sort of get a feedback. Okay, what is the footage feeling like? Is the story coming through, not coming through? So I think what I brought in was with my feedback to Shafak, that we can go ahead and with a lot of surety and with a lot of confidence, because there was soul, which is difficult to achieve in films. So there was this beautiful soul of the film, which he had with all the energies on set, they had put together. So it was that much. I think what I brought into her was more muscle in her arms, and more conviction in the way she could tell the story, because she was getting this credible feedback from me.
Uh, Having an editor of your caliber, uh, I'm just trying to encash upon the opportunity on converting this into a mini masterclass sort of a thing, where because we have a lot of young technicians who watch our programs or channel. So, what would you tell them that as an editor, what you should be doing?
So I mean, firstly, it's one has to be totally in love with going through footage, like the same takes over and over, different takes of the same shot over and over again, to be able to do that, to enjoy that. And secondly, just try and simulate that you're watching the film in the theater, and how are you feeling? Like, till date, in fact, whenever I'm talking to my assistants, I'm only telling them one thing, that the way I edit is I simulate that I'm watching the film in the theater, and जहाँ पे मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं comment मारूंगा, वहाँ पे मैं काट देता uh, as simple as that.
What is the kind of difference is there in the way or the style or the pattern of edit? For example, like when you started working in the 80s or the late 80s, and now, I mean, early you had a lot of Steenbeck and all, and now everything is on computer, Avid or FCP and Premiere Pro, etc. And most of the films are now being digitally shot. So, what do you see as a change since then and now, and you belonging to both the generations? I mean, because you've experienced both. So, what are the difficulty levels, and what are the advantages or disadvantages of
See,
today's edit systems?
one, there are many advantages, because the technology is sort of grown leaps and bounds, and from back from the Steenbeck days to now, it's you would not have as many people getting into editing, because it used to be such a tedious and more of mundane and tedious work than creative. Now technology is helping us, concentrate more on the creative, and the computer takes care of so many things. So it's definitely got better, but the amount of expose has increased, because people don't, because of digital, the stock used to be way more expensive than what hard disk space costs. So they were a lot more economical with what people shot, and they were a lot more planned. So now there are a lot more, the rushes quantity has increased a lot. The coverage is a lot. So a lot, I would say, a lot can get decided on the table. But again, there's a difference between, even in each film, there are different parts of the film that need to be treated differently. Like some sequences, one would need to go in planned and shot divided and storyboarded, and some sequences you will have to go sort of candid and see how it happens and cover it with as many cameras. So it all depends on the kind of sequence and the kind of film and the genre and everything else. But yeah, we have a lot, very many fantastic filmmakers who are using the ease to make films to tell fantastic stories, and you know every day I watch and I'm like blown away with the kind of talent we have.
Uh, how is it that you are able to manage between or shift between the different genres of the films? Like you have worked in hardcore commercial films, and then you're working in art house films also at the same time. How
So
do you
I use this
balance?
analogy that an editor to a film is like a DJ to a party. So, depending on the guest list, depending on the venue, depending on the occasion, we have to spin tunes like that. you know. So, yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. Because generally, when an actor is there or a director is there, they get stereotyped or typecast that you expect a particular kind of a film from a particular director or a particular kind of characters for a particular kind of an actor. You get into those zones. So, does the editor also experience that, or do they get branded or stereotyped, or I mean, seeing you, of course, you have managed to stay away from that. But does that kind of a thing also
I doubt
initially affected you?
No, I doubt if it happens with editors as much. I don't think it happens with editors and cinematographers. It may happen with filmmakers, or it may have, because it's slightly more technical and a more, like I said, I mean, everything that needed to be done is already done. There's no more के shooting में देखेंगे performances, so it's everything is shot and it's in the can, and similar with cinematography, that how DOPs approach a film. And I think every actor, every technician, every filmmaker would like to do different kinds of films, unless they only want to do that one kind.
Of course. Of course. I mean, it's because the question is because primarily these departments do suffer this kind of problem. Although the actors want to do different characters or the directors want to make different films, but sadly they get typecast
Stuff like,
or
yeah,
stereotyped.
yeah,
Yeah, it's enforced upon them. It's not their choice, but it's forced upon them. So that's why the question, because you've got a variety of films and the different genres that you've been working on. Looking at your profile, um, so was it accidental, or was it very planned move, or it just happened on its own and you just
It
feel
happened on its own.
with
It
time,
happened
and
on its
you
own.
just took it by the time?
Yeah.
Um, Now, the foremost problems that the young filmmakers or the new filmmakers face is, like you said, that there are too many rushes. The amount of footage has increased. So, how does that contribute or create a problem for the editor? Uh, I'm
One
sure
can't generalize.
because.
Yeah, because I mean it's a case to case thing. Because so many times when I'm when I'm shooting for myself, I end up giving myself choices that other filmmakers have not given me when I'm in a sequence. So I end up shooting more, and sometimes I know exactly what I want, so there'll be just that minimum, So I don't think one can generalize, but I mean, technology and this comfort and this luxury is there for creative freedom, for artists to do to expand and to sort of go beyond what they had planned for or what they can do. So one is always trying to increase. So I don't think that one can look at it as a problem, but जैसे अभी किसी बंदे को काम आता है तो वो 4 कैमरे से भी सही काम करेगा और 1 कैमरे से भी सही काम करेगा, और जिसको नहीं काम आता है तो फिर वो चारों में पॉटी करेगा और वो एक में भी पॉटी करेगा, तो इट्स लाइक दैट.
So, because I'm trying to pose questions to you because you also happen to be a filmmaker. I mean, you're not only the editor; you're a complete
But
filmmaker.
I
You
don't edit my
all
own films.
okay. So, and why is that?
Why should I deprive myself of another set of brains, another pair of hands on my team? Why should I do that? And basically, it also sort of takes the. I mean, I love editing, but when I'm editing my own footage, it's not as much fun. So when I'm not having fun, then I don't end up doing a good job. So it's always better to solve other people's problems.
So, you mean it's an invitation to a third point of view, which can
Absolutely, absolutely. The more
bring
the
in a
merrier.
the
It's
new
never
element,
one job. Yeah,
the
there are
new
so
dimension to it, the viewpoint. So,
absolutely.
so you feel that the editor and the director should be two different people and should not be done by the same person?
See, there are no rules. This is like my preference because I mean, there are all kinds of people. There are all kinds of great, talented people who can wear many hats, and this is the way I like to work. So
How has camera working in the camera department helped you in filmmaking
oh,
and
great.
edit?
In fact, my ex boss, Mr. Kishore Kapadia, he in fact has taught me so much about because back in the day we did not have video assist, we did not have the option of playing back a take and seeing. So whatever the DOP is calling okay is the last word. So so many times, I mean, when I was pulling focus for him, and I would say that it went out of focus in the end. Like maybe we need to do one more, and he would say that वो रहेगा नहीं, उसके पहले कट जाएगा. And I'd be like, wow, like this guy is a DOP and he knows कहाँ पे shot कटने वाला है. So then learning with him, not only the tamiz of the shooting floor, like which I think because I was at such a formative stage, and also technically, I think I learned a great deal from Mr. Kishore Kapadia. Yeah.
Um, Coming back to Yere Yere Pausa, uh, one could see how the use of the slow motions in that film at places, especially when the kids are playing or their introductions or their the moments and the songs. Uh, were those slow motions pre-shot or were they done on the table?
So pre-shot, pre-shot.
They were pre-shot.
Yeah. And because see, I mean, this whole all these tactics and gimmicks or stuff that a filmmaker uses to tell a story, you know, it they and as you can see that it was pre-shot, so she already wanted to see them and show them as larger than life, even though they're small kids from a small remote village in Maharashtra. But she wanted to depict them like they are these, you know, larger than life characters, and that character who's influenced by Salman, you know, to show him like that. And you know, so exactly that was what was interesting about it. Yeah.
So, as a filmmaker, what are the problem areas that you see for films like Yere Yere Pausa, which are not out and out or hardcore commercial films, to reach out to the audience? And if there are problems, if you acknowledge, then what are the things that can be done to solve it?
So I feel that the amount of innovation and the amount of development that is happening in the technology, and also in the themes and the genres that the storytellers and the directors and filmmakers and producers want to tell stories in, I don't think that much innovation is happening in our uh, marketing wing. I think that marketing wing is still gets excited about star names and easy to sell concepts, and easy to market, packages. I don't think the speed at which the creative arm of our business is growing. I don't think that much innovation and growth is happening in our marketing. Um, I think that's also a problem with, like, I mean, it's not just in films. Even if you see advertising, or even if you see, it's so easy for people to get into, brand endorsements, and go to like the ad scripts are so much about celebrities and so much about easy to sell, easy to so. I think that comes from laziness, and yeah. So I wish the marketing and the selling wing of our business would get as excited about, because it is films is a lifestyle. uh, it is a lifestyle service that it's an entertainment that we are giving people, and there has to be room for innovation, newer themes. People want to come and see newer things, and time and again every Friday we learn our lessons, but बीच में संडे आता है तो मंडे को फिर भूल जाते हैं.
How do you think the OTT platforms contributing to films
I think the OTT
and
platforms are like T20, what T20 did to IPL did to our cricket. I think OTT platforms is doing that to our entertainment business. So it's fantastic. It's great because there are so many. Like when you go online and you see there are some great, fantastic stories coming out of this country, yeah, from all corners, and it's decentralized it from specific centers which were privileged because of proximity to the film business, and even in different states. I mean, now you have story writers and content makers, or people from anywhere in the country who are telling their stories, which is fantastic.
so do you see the OTTs wearing out or defeating or or putting behind the theatrical audience or the theaters uh, to say?
No, see, uh, it's I think it's totally driven by what the event is. Uh, I mean, in our business, you will find enough examples of all kind for theories to be made. Example ke badle example, people can keep arguing, and the discussion will never get over. But when you and data will show that people are not going to the theater here, people are going for larger ticket films, and then suddenly one film will come which is a high concept film, and people have rushed to the theater. So जैसे होता है कि कभी आप 15 किलोमीटर दूर चले जाओगे एक वड़ा पाव खाने के लिए, और कभी स्पेशलिटी रेस्टोरेंट आपके घर के नीचे है और आपका मन नहीं करेगा, बोलोगे घर बुला ले यार. you know uh, so it's a choice like that.
But going by the data across the globe that we get through our festival also, because we get films from over 60 countries at this festival now. In the past 60 years, we have managed to make our inroads into those many countries. And the feelers and the feedbacks that we are getting from those filmmakers of those countries is, and they're revealing data where theaters are closing down. Single theaters, even the multiplexes are closing down, and people are actually reducing to go to theaters. This is what is happening in the West. India, fortunately, is saved from this as yet. It has not dented India. This whole culture or the system, the wave of closing down the cinemas. We already have seen that a lot of single theaters have shut down or converted into multiplexes. So, do you see this kind of a thing happening in India as well at some point?
Uh, so it's bound to affect. I'm not saying that it's not going to have any effect at all. It's definitely going to affect it. We can see it affecting already. I mean, even before the OTTs came, we had so many theaters in Bombay shut down. There were so many theaters in Bangalore. In Bangalore, there used to be an area where there were like about 11 theaters in 2 kilometers radius. I don't know how many of them have shut down, and all of them used to be packed on weekends. Like that's like a perfect venue for a film festival. Actually, like about 9 or 11 theaters in one thing. So that has happened even before the OTT, sort of came into the market. Like so many theaters in Bombay had shut down. Uh, In fact, some of them have reopened now later. So it is going to affect. Uh, I'm not denying that it is going to affect. But I feel that how when television came in and people thought, "Oh, television aa gaya, ab sabke ghar mein hai." So I really think it's like a case to case thing. It's a like people are going to the rushing to the theaters to see Avatar because it's that kind of an experience. But also people have also gone to see Drishyam too. So there are going to be all kinds of and because it is this kind of business where it is going to surprise you. The surprises are what are going to work. But still, people feel more comfortable in the tried and tested and
Yeah, everything is unpredictable here. I mean,
yeah,
it's like cricket where you come up with
yeah.
surprises every Friday is a surprise. Uh, so we are governed by that. But talking about the business part and how it is affecting the filmmaking also, because if there are more films being made, keeping the OTT release or online releases in mind, then they are
See,
affecting the budgeting and the filmmaking at the same time.
Uh, I think the budgeting and all that still again depends on the project that you have built, which depends on the genre and also the star cast and everything, and so all that comes into effect. But so I mean, see, like I'm saying, that even films coming on OTT is in no way sort of bad. Like I'm not in that whole romanticizing favor of are theaters band ho rahe hain or see when you uh, going to the theater to watch a film with public with a bunch of your friends or going by yourself or that option is always going to be there for whenever you want to it's not going to because we have a you're talking about countries where theaters have shut down. They are still European countries or places which have shut down their film business जिनके जो फिल्में ही नहीं बना रहे तो वो डिपेंड कर रहे हैं बाहर से फिल्में आएंगी यूके
Yes.
से आएंगी या यूएसए से आएंगी तो वहां पे बंद हो गए थे बट या तो इफेक्ट तो कोविड की वजह से इसकी वजह से इफेक्ट तो काफी हुआ है बट आई डोंट थिंक दैट यू नो it's going to like shut them down in India.
So the COVID impact, of course, was world over. So everybody and all departments and all companies and all areas of work did suffer. And of course, the film industry has also been impacted because of that. So now, do you see things are returning to normalcy?
I think the OTT platforms really did a lot to sort of spring, pump life back into the entertainment technician world and even the artists and actors world, where people started getting work and it's sort of churning again. Producers have had options of making something for OTTs, and people have gone ahead and done that, and so it started the churning again, which is very welcome.
How do you get to do films with all new, or especially the first time filmmakers? Do they approach you or you go and cast them?
Uh, so like for Fandry, the producers had come to me to put me on their panel to make ad films for them, and they happened to narrate the story to me, and I jumped on it again. I said, I really want to be a part of this film because it was a unique concept to be a part of that story, because I mean, one is always looking to do some things which are different, or which you've not done before, and to solve a different kind of problem. You know, yeah. So I think they just happen to come, but I'm very fond of doing films like that. So I guess I draw them.
Yeah, because looking at your profile, you have worked with a lot of first-time filmmakers, new filmmakers,
Yeah.
which is very less and not that much in a profile of established editor of your repute.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to the young budding editors?
Nothing really, man. I'm not that thing to say, give some message or something. Lage raho bas.
Very true. So, what is meaning when we say a message to the young budding editors is that what is it that they should look for when they're working on a project?
Uh, See,
Some
so I
motivational thing. Yeah.
I mean, I have sort of really enjoyed working every day of my life. So as long as you can ensure that कि आप सुबह जा रहे हो editing में और आशीष देख रहे हो, तो you are enjoying being a part of that project. I think that because काम दिल से होगा, you know, तो वो जरूरी है कि because then you're also then depriving the project of somebody who would enjoy doing that. So if you're not having fun doing it, then don't do it.
Absolutely. I think that's very well put and well said. That enjoy the work. जितना मजा आएगा उस काम में, उतना ही मजेदार वो काम बनेगा.
बिल्कुल.
So, on this note, thank you, Chandan, for taking out your time and talking to us from
Pleasure,
Lift
man.
India, and wish you all the best in your all future projects,
Thank you very
and
much.
hope that we connect very soon.
Thank you.